And the thing is, there are going to be people who are confrontational when it comes to ideas, and that's how that is how, you have to be confrontational at a certain point. Um, they don't seem to, I don't see the outcry from the Christian community and from a lot of the the accommodationist atheist groups out there, and the individuals who seem to be enabling this behavior. I don't see them complaining about the evangelicals and the proselytizers who get in people's faces and are significantly more dickish, if you will,
And that's the
than
thing. I
yeah.
mean, again, to bring up my personal story on the whole thing, I was compared by a moderate believer who doesn't like religion but does believe in God, and even a few atheists who were a little bit more of this accommodationist breed as well, comparing my actions as it applied to going up to somebody and telling them that they were a good person and didn't need to be told that they were a sinner or that they were evil and that they didn't have to listen to proselytizers as this being the same thing and just as bad and just as rude as people going up to that girl and saying, "Oh, well, you need the Lord and you need Jesus in your life because if you don't, you're going to go to hell. And we don't want you to go to hell because clearly you would, because even though we don't know you, we know that you're a disgusting, terrible sinner who deserves everlasting hellfire."
Yeah. Well, back to the issue of some people are confrontational. Some people might be perceived as dicks. Um, I don't think people understand there is a certain value to that. I've witnessed on more than one occasion people working in tandem as teams, where some people were very, very accommodating and very, very polite and answering questions or whatever, and then there would be another element that would essentially be grabbing these people by the shoulder and shaking them and showing them all the disgusting things in the Bible, or presenting a lot of arguments that uh, definitely appealed to the emotional aspect, but they shook the person enough to get them to break down those mental barriers and be willing to talk to the other people who were providing the logical, calm, rational explanation as to why their theistic views were irrational and stupid.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a very, very effective way of getting through to people.
And there
Good
has to
cop, bad
be
cop.
yeah, and there has to be a distinction between attacking the beliefs and attacking the person. I
Yeah,
agree that you don't just go after the person and be like, "Well, that person's a fucking idiot," and we're and not actually have anything to back up. I mean, there are people out there who are admittedly so willfully ignorant that they will stand by their beliefs and lie for their beliefs and do a lot of disgusting things for their beliefs, admittedly. But
hmm
most of the people that we're trying to engage in actual discussions are not that way and will actually discuss because, and that's the thing, we do have to treat the issue of the belief. And I know that you and I in these discussions always have in situations where we're being downright attacked and not. We
yeah,
know that we have to keep the upper hand and try to be that voice of reason. And that there are atheists out there who are dicks and who don't really give a shit, but those people, at least again in our interactions with them, don't seem to really be the skeptical minded. They are making emotional appeals for atheism as opposed to rational, logical appeals for that particular side of the argument.